How's it going, guys? John, the Basic Expert here, and in this video I wanted to make a quick video sort of highlighting a useful tool called DungeonDraw for your Foundry virtual tabletop. Now, if you're like me, or if you watch my channel, you know that I am an advocate of zero or low prep gaming. And when I use Foundry virtual tabletop, I generally would stick to Theater of the Mind because having a dungeon generate on the fly while I can draw it with basic tools on this map, I felt like, you know, with the pen tool here, I felt like that isn't ideal enough for me for actually taking advantage of what Foundry is capable of. So I would often just do Theater of the Mind and not really bother with tokens and line of sight and all these things. And, you know, I've been having fun in that way. But at the same time, there's always something in the back of my head like I'm not using Foundry to its full potential. And I really like Foundry. I think it's the best virtual tabletop that there is out there. It has a great balance between like Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds. You know, I think if you're coming from Roll20, Foundry will feel very familiar. It does take a bit of a learning curve, and I guess I should preface this video by also stating that Foundry is a lot like Skyrim. It's a lot like modding Skyrim. Now, you can put all these awesome mods on top of Foundry, but some of them might be incompatible with each other, some of them have dependencies, and you can actually break your game and struggle to know what's breaking it if you're going to have to troubleshoot your different add-ons and mods like you would in Skyrim to see what's breaking your game. And likewise, if you update Skyrim past what the mods are tested on, you could potentially break your game as well. The same is true in Foundry. If you update the core Foundry virtual tabletop to the newest version, but maybe some of your favorite add-ons or game systems haven't updated to that version, you should not update to the latest version. Wait until there's a new version of Foundry that's available. You're going to want to do that because you can absolutely break your game. It's happened to me before, and sometimes, like, once you break your game, it's broken. You have to uninstall in some cases and start from scratch all over again, unless you've backed up a lot of your stuff, which I highly recommend that you do if you care about your games, but that's neither here nor there. So all that said, let's look at DungeonDraw, which I think is a super cool tool, and let's look at this here. So I think one of the coolest things about DungeonDraw is the ability to have line of sight, walls, doors, and therefore you can input lighting sources and things like that, and then fully maximize the use of tokens and a virtual tabletop and all the benefits that come with that, while also having a zero prep game. Because for me, zero prep is about on-the-fly gaming, right? If you watch my channel, you know I'm a big advocate of that. It's my favorite way to play. And so when I'm running games for my friends or for my players, or when I'm solo gaming, I like to use dungeon generators, like the Appendix A dungeon generator in First Edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. And this allows you to actually fully maximize something like that, so you can use the dungeon generator in Appendix A, and you can have a truly zero prep dungeon and still achieve really cool looks and scenes for things, and make it somewhat immersive with like line of sight, darkness levels, illumination, all these things that are, again, inherent to Foundry virtual tabletop. So let's start there. So let's say we picked a theme. We picked let's pick dungeon squares. We'll close that, and let's start building a dungeon. So all it does is it snaps to it can snap to the grid here. So let's make like an entrance to our dungeon that goes like that, and it goes to a room. Let's say like this, and there's a passage off this wall, and a passage off of this wall, and a passage going south. And we can actually do doors too, so we can drag the door across like this to take up the space that we want it to take up. Let's remove here. I screwed up this thing here. Let's remove that, and we'll go back to add. So you can add and remove stuff like that. I kind of messed up the width there. And I keep screwing that up. I don't know why it's doing that. Remove. There we go. Let's put our door here. Keep screwing this up. All right, let's go to our door, go to add, put our door back here. So, you know, this is super cool. Let's say we have our character here. We can put him in here. He has the line of sight already set up on his character. So, you know, we have the vision set up here. We have vision enabled. We have the distances all set up. And so we can have him enter into this dungeon, and cool. We have doors. Doors can open. He has a line of sight. He can go into these places, and we can have players open doors. This is awesome. Looks cool. But, you know, it's kind of a bit empty, right? And I think that it would be super cool to have something a bit more visually interesting and immersive to look at. This is already really cool, but let's make it better. So let's go to tile controls, and we're going to go open a folder. And what I did is I took the dungeon tokens from the Dragonville dungeon tile set from Dungeon Painter 2, or from Dungeon Painter. I don't have Dungeon Painter 2. I have the first Dungeon Painter studio software, sorry. And let's look at some of the stuff we can put in here. So we can start putting in like objects into our scene. And let's go to like main, and let's say like we want to add like a barrel. We can put that there. Cool. You know, we got our scene here. Let's say we want to add let's say a coffin. And if I want to, I can hit Alt Control, and if I mouse scroll, I can like rotate things. Let's put a coffin there. And let's look at, there was like, I think it'd be interesting to put some splatters. So let's put a blood splatter there, and put a blood splatter on top of the coffin. That's pretty cool. Let's look at again at main, and what other kinds of stuff do we have? We have like a skeleton. We can put some bones around here. Let's say there's like some bones like right next to the coffin there. And I want to put some lighting sources in here. So let's see what kind of like lights we have in here. We have lanterns. Let's look at torches. So we can put like a sconce on the wall. I like that. Let's say there's like one on either wall here on the back. And what I can then do is switch to the light. We have the light tool selected, and I can, you can see like how far you want the light to go out. Let's say I want it to be like that, and let's put another one here like that. And let's change the light animation to flickering, and let's change the color to something a bit orangey. I'm going to copy that so I can change this one as well. And so now we have like a really interesting scene. Let's add some stairs, because let's say like this goes down. Let's see if we can find some stairs here. I think we have stair kits here. I don't want corner. I don't want wooden. There we go. Oh, we got to be on the token selection side. So we'll drag that out. Let's rotate it that way, and okay, that's not gonna work. We'll do double. We'll just do double like this. So we got some stairs going down, and now if we go to our guy here, let's select him. We got a way cooler scene now, and we made it very quickly. The players enter into the dungeon, and they got some doors they can choose from. They see a coffin, a barrel, blood splatters. There's some torches being lit. They're not flickering for some reason. change the intensity there. Turn the intensity up. Yeah, they're faintly. This one's flickering, but you can see that like this is way cooler than just kind of doodling on the map with you know, basic hand-drawn tools. We have actual line of sight. So let's see. I have like a monster here. Let's put an ape in there, and let's say we open that door and let's see here. We got this. So we got line of sight. We can open and close this door, and this guy can, you know, now see. He can see over here. We've instantly sort of like made, with zero prep, I can build this dungeon as I solo game through it, or as players go through it. I can place stuff. I got my tokens that I can like decorate a scene with. And it'll save all this. It'll be a scene. The walls are already set up. We have doors. We have light sources. This is just like this is just so cool to me. And way cooler than like, again, just like a basic, using this tool here to, okay, let's just free-handed, and you know, it kind of goes out like this, and then it turns, and you know, here's the tunnel. You know, that will work, but this is way cooler, in my opinion. This is much cooler. So tell me what you guys think. I'll have a link to DungeonDraw in the video description below, or in the pinned comment below. You know, you can get dungeon tokens in a lot of different places, and you know, I imported these from Dungeon Painter. So if you already have Dungeon Painter, you already have something really cool that you can import directly into Foundry Virtual Tabletop, and have tons of like item decor for your dungeons and whatnot. And you know, the cool thing about this too is, I'll highlight this as well. DungeonDraw has lots of different themes that you can do. So like, let's say you're playing sci-fi and you want to have like a cool, like sci-fi vibe. Like we have this here that makes it look, you're playing Traveler, or you're playing the Alien RPG or something like that. You have this here. So I think that it's super cool. But tell me what you think in the comments below. I think that this combination of using outside tokens and the token tool here, the token controls, along with DungeonDraw, you have like near infinite possibilities, and you can make some really cool dungeons, inside scenes, and even outdoor scenes as well. Because again, we have, if we go to DungeonDraw, and we go to themes, we have like grass and dirt and different things like that. And you can actually use the painting tool here, the theme painter, to sort of paint certain sections. So let's say like I want to, let's close this here. Let's go back to DungeonDraw, and let's say I want to put a room here at the end of the hall, and let's put a door there. And let's say I want to change it to a dirt room. I can like paint it to hopefully be a dirt room. There you go. So now, you know, we can change the dungeon tiles in here. And let's say like, again, I want to start adding some cool stuff into this here. Let's go to main, and we can put in like webs. We got some spider webs in the room over here. Rotate that to fit. And it's like way too big. It's got like that. We got a neat room. Let's look at it. Let's put like we'll put another skeleton in here. Put that in there, and let's lantern. We'll put a lantern on top, and then we'll get another light source. And You know, got that. Let's change the light animation to flickering. Okay. So, you know, now we got our guy here. He's adventuring through. He comes to the store. He opens it. He goes through this hallway, opens that. Cool. You know, we got this awesome room here. And, you know, if you want to affect things too, it's also neat with Foundry. So if we go to the wall controls, we can set terrain walls as well. And I can have it go around around like that. And so now when we select this, we can affect line of sight even in this way too. So like if you're interested in that sort of thing, this is also super cool. And then he jumps on top, line of sight is no longer, you know, a problem. That's really useful for you know, different terrain levels if you're doing like an outdoor adventure or anything like that. And the thing is, like, we've made this on the fly. I don't think that this is super quick. If you know where all your tokens are that you want to use, this is like very easy to set up and do. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Is DungeonDraw something you're going to use? Again, I'll have links to all this stuff below. If you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, share the video. And if you want to support the channel, you can support right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You can support on Subscribestar or on my Guilded server. I'll have links to all that stuff in the pinned comment below, along with links to DungeonDraw. And go out there. Like, you can go on DriveThruRPG and find custom tile sets like what you'd get in Dungeon Painter Studio. Dungeon Painter Studio isn't that expensive, and you know, you buying it just for the purpose of having a bajillion tokens that you can import into this is super cool, in my opinion. And for me, like, even if you don't like Dungeon Painter as a dungeon design software, having the ability to have like the blood splatters and the tokens and all that kind of stuff in this, I think that that's pretty neat. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Like, subscribe, share the video, and I hope this is a useful video for you, and that you have a good rest of your week. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.